because it's fun.
That's a short and skinny of it.
Yeah, well, when it comes down to LARPing, though, you can, well, he has got one here, so I mean, I can explain that you got your, a story, you write out your own backstory. It's what you feel comfortable doing. I mean, my character just happened to have lost one of his ears, so I got to like. Oh, how it happened? Oh, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do the whole LARP thing.
Yeah, long story. Like I actually physically wrote out a long story on my character and how he would act and how.
So if you have like this D&D character that's been used for years,
yeah,
you just transfer that over.
You can. Some LARPs will kind of allow you to do that, but it's
like you just take the background in their character.
Yeah. But like I mean, your years and years of progression that you've played in D&D.
You'd start as level 1.
You start as level 1.
Yeah, you can totally break your
character.
Yeah. You can use your own.
As long as you're not.
You can import them from the previous game and create a new save file.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, except for it's like create.
Yeah.
Here, your character that you've done the whole time when we started the game.
It's like import as
prestige class.
It's like import as template.
Yeah.
Basically,
you can use this, but you got to start over.
Exactly.
But you know what, LARP,
it's New Game Plus.
Storylines of LARP really push you to like things will happen in game, and you might have that like D&D style thought of this is the way my character is going to work and this is the way I'm going to do it. But you start playing a game and situations arise and you're thinking completely different wavelengths. It's like, well, maybe my character wants to read and write. Like in Underworld, and specifically, I'm sorry, you have to purchase the ability to read and write, like literacy, right? So a note is handed to you in game, you can't read it. You actually have to pretend that you open it up and go,
it doesn't matter what
find
it says.
someone that can read.
If it's a funny thing, like if someone's like, eat my butt, you can't go, because then they'll be like, what are you doing? You can't read.
Exactly.
So you really have to immerse yourself into it, for sure.
But it becomes second nature, because I mean, you start out, a lot of people say like, oh, I could never LARP, it seems really silly, walking around in a costume, just couldn't do it. But you get there, and it might be a little shaky at first, but seriously, after a while, your character will start to grow and change almost like distinctly from you. It's very, very strange. I've been playing Underworld for, oh my god, like almost 7 years now, as the same character. And in that time, I have experienced some things that have been truly amazing. Like real tears, real genuine tears.
Oh god.
Underworld aims to tear out your heart, and they will.
Punches you in the feelings, like repeatedly.
Yeah.
Ow, my feelings.
Oh, right.
You write your character a backstory, right? And basically they say, leave us a noose to hang you with. Figuratively, of course. And I left them plenty. And oh god, do I regret it? But it's so wonderful at the same time.
Like it can be anything. Like the plot team will write things like your backstory is, your family died. Well, next, on All Hallows Eve, your mother is like shuffling at you as a zombie and wants to eat you.
Yeah, now you
specifically calling your name.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, like and if there's any kind of immersion and it's you're freaked right out.
Oh no,
like,
yeah. Real fear happens at
hunkering down in the woods, hiding from zombies that are coming through the woods at you, and it's genuinely terrifying. Like
although from what you mentioned there, I should point something out. Don't make a character who's an orphan.
yeah, exactly.
It's the most common backstory.
Everyone's an
ever.
orphan.
Yeah.
My character's an orphan, I'm sorry.
What about just one parent dead?
What's that?
What about just one parent dead?
See, now, but that leaves an opening, though.
That would
right?
be different. Yeah.
That leaves
No,
that.
It's like one parent dead, the other missing.
Yeah, it's really common in all LARPs actually.
Right there, I'm going, ooh, I could write plot for these.
Exactly.
I'm a writer myself,
No
so.
problem.
Yeah.
You know what? And that like shaper teams for any LARP, that'd be like, we have this guy, his name's Jordan. He's a storyteller. Like I mean, him and Jamie, they're like fantastic storytellers. So they like his first character, Jordan's first character. That's what he did. He played a bum. Like just he wore a potato sack and carried a stick with a jug on it and just asked people for booze and money to tell them stories. And that's literally what he did for like a year and a half.
That's
he
awesome.
Sat around a campfire.
And out of game, his stories are fantastic. So he
would
made
enthrall you in game.
Yeah.
I mean, throwing around a little bit of silver in game is nothing to kill like an hour of him telling a story. It's fantastic, and he would bring it with him. So Jamie, he plays an Aja. They're like
Uncle Zelda.
they're They're like
Who is famous?
gypsies.
Around.
They're very, very, very flamboyant gypsies. They're like, oh, have a very like loud accent that they talk with all the time. It's he actually tells stories about people that are still in game. So if you're
But absolutely over the top.
like, you know, next thing you know, things are exploding and
Yeah.
you know, brains are flying all over trees and
Well,
didn't
he'll
really
take
happen.
what something that actually happened in game and then just like bring it over the moon. Like, you know, it was a boar hunt, but you know now they're fighting demon boars from hell and it's ridiculous. And they're fantastic stories to listen to. And he has a trick where if the story isn't gripping the audience, he ends it with, and then I found a gold piece.
Hey, cool,
And then
man.
I found a piece, yeah.
I kind of came in late, so I was like, that's kind of rude, so I'm just gonna slip them down.
That's okay, sit down.
Welcome.
It's pretty informal.
Welcome. Yeah, it's really informal. I'm sorry, I got my makeup on.
We're literally just yapping and telling
We
stories.
like just roll that.
We're role playing a panel.
There we go.
That's pretty much what we're doing.
I'm pretty good.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of half paying attention.
That's okay.
I'm not very.
You know what? This is the most we've
I'm
had
paying
shows for LARP
attention
one
and
long
I'm
time.
laughing, but at
That's
the same
disheartening.
We
Yeah.
did GenreCon. At GenreCon, we did the early morning, 9 a.m. I had to bribe 2 people to come up with the coffee.
Does that happen to you a lot? Early morning panel?
Yeah, apparently. Apparently, they
I'm not-
We had a panel once where I was talking, where we had a good show. Yeah, it was a-
Personally, I'm not used to this early morning.
That was that ending.
So you guys should vie for a later slot next time.
Yeah.
So, probably introduce yourselves. We
Yeah.
were talking.
That'd be good.
I'm Patches. Not my real name, obviously, but that's what everyone calls me. I play a character called Melvin. A lot of people are actually afraid of me out of game because they haven't actually met me. They're afraid of my character. Yeah, I'm the live
Nice.
lady on the flyer there. It's me. It's a really old picture, but yeah.
My name's Josh. I used to play Jaden. I used to play a character named Jaden. He's dead, but I like to resurrect him for cons because he looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not dressed. I have armor and everything that I'll be putting on later. My real name's Josh. I play an NPC now. When it comes to going to LARP, I play a non-player character, which are basically the monsters and stuff that run around in the middle of the night and come and kill you, and basically the things that progress game. If there's a plot line that is being run, so town is walking through this dungeon crawl or whatever, I'm the bad guys that jump out. I'm the screaming necromancer at the end going, "You will never get out of here alive!"
Then we cover your face.
Yeah, and then town pretty much comes and thumps the crap out of me until I fall over.
And then we cut your face.
Yeah, and literally, like when it comes to a LARP, it's whatever your imagination can concoct. So if they'll give you a descriptive hold where the game will stop. It's like stop RPing, stop being your character for a minute and just listen. And they will describe like the surroundings, like, yeah, okay, we're walking down like a path in the middle of the woods, but they'll describe it as the dark corridor, or the you're not walking on the floor, or there's mist up to your knees, and you'll RP from there out, right?
Portal opens.
Yeah, a portal, which is a portal opens here. You have to walk through, right?
Goddamn
But it's completely up to your character. So I mean, like, as much as town is going, we're all gonna jump through this portal because that looks like the thing to do. There are people that are still smart enough to go, I'm not jumping through
And
here.
you're like, no way.
And it's like, well, you're not going to go on this quest then. That's fine. That means town's empty, right?
Rob them.
It's like, well, yeah. Okay, well, good. You take the shaper, you're coming with me, and I'm going to go rob everyone blind.
And guys, if anyone's ever like, hey, there's lots of treasure in the spider cave, we should go to the
Don't listen to
Don't
them.
go to the spider cave.
Don't listen. And,
Don't go to the spider cave.
No matter what LARP it is, spiders do no good.
Just
No
go-
good
Just go to
whatsoever.
the
In our-
spider
If
cave.
anybody in the spider cave, I'm running it over.
in our specific LARP,
Oh,
spiders are the
spiders.
thing that, like, the high level, like, I think that our highest level character is like 15, 16, I'm ballparking.
18.
Oh, Grim's 18?
Something like that.
Grim,
yeah.
Grimskull, the mighty Grimskull, he plays an Einhir, they're like Vikings, and he's just been around since like the dawn of the game, so he's like the uber level. Even he's scared of spiders.
Oh,
Like, if
dear.
him alone with a spider, he'd even be like, I think I'm just gonna walk away from
I'm
this.
good. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
walking
gonna-
into the spider cave is bad. Like the description of it is like you kill a bunch of spiders and then more crawl off the ceiling and then come after you.
Well,
And
they never end, and they throw webs that either pin you to the ground, 1 foot to the ground, or pin your arms to your sides, so you can't fight or cast or anything.
It's a 3-tier thing. If you get hit with a packet, like if you get hit with one, your foot is now stuck to the ground. So the spider has stuck you to the ground. Now you can still use like your voice and your upper body to still fight, or you can choose to cut yourself out. Right? If it hits you again, it binds your arms to your sides, so you can't really use your weapons. But you can still talk and like move around and run if you can.
If
Your
you're-
foot's still stuck to the ground.
Yeah.
The third one is like a complete web, where it has now webbed you up and can pick you up and move you around.
You're in a cocoon now.
And you can't run.
Or eat you.
Oh, yeah, and literally it
You are
comes down to that. Like, I went to a day mod, one of my like crowning moments in my head. It was in a laser tag arena. Like, you know those like glow in the dark,
Yeah.
like UV filled like laser tag arenas? Similar, but it was like laser something. It was in Oshawa. It was fantastic. But just the immersion of it was like, you could go through a portal or whatever, and it was, but just for immersion combat in there, it was great. Long story short of it was, I'm roaming around in this on my own. Like, you realize, it's just this crazy cave or whatever. Wait, I'm alone.
Good luck.
And then you look over and a spider's coming and like sticks you to a wall and starts like eating you, and all you can do is scream. Genuine terror. Like, it actually took someone to come and like find me and rip me off the wall before I died. Like, intense things happen at these LARPs. I like to describe LARP as the geekiest thing you'll ever think about until you do it. Doing it, sitting down and going, all right, I'm gonna make my character. And all right, I'll go and I'll check it out. I'll set up a tent and bring some weenies to roast over the fire. By that Saturday, on like a long weekend event, you're so immersed in your character.
And then you're addicted forever.
You're so immersed to like everything that's going on that you just want to know. Like, you want to go to the next one so that you can see what happens more in the storyline. And then something completely drastic will happen and flip that world on its head. And then you got to go out and do it again. Like, just live. Like your mate gets killed. You know, your in-game girlfriend gets completely killed and her guts are strewn all over the woods and go.
Who knows? Maybe they're all over you.
So now you have to like screech and yell and
Maybe you were under a spell and you killed her.
see.
Then your character has to deal with that.
No.
Oh yeah.
These sorts of things happen. This is Underworld. Underworld is a horror fantasy LARP, and it's an important distinction because, yeah, terrible shit can happen to your character.
Oh, yeah.
And
Here,
what's
eat
that
this
here?
to save you. And it's like a live pig heart.
Josh, stop talking for a second.
Okay.
What?
Introduce yourself.
Oh,
yeah.
We're
I'm
still.
Darcy. I'm the PR guy for Underworld LARP, but I like to do the LARP 101s because no one really knows anything. Oh, some people don't know anything about them. So I invited a bunch of other people out from other LARPs. No one really showed up but us, so we're going to talk about ourselves a lot. I play a character called
Was this supposed
No.
to just be us?
Underworld's on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You didn't get the email then.
Spotlight stolen.
I play a dwarf named Yellowbeard. I'm a shifty bastard, but I have a lot of fun. It's not yellow because I got peed on either, okay, if anyone thought that. It's because I make things and make
No
money.
one thought that until you mentioned
No, there was a rumor.
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking.
I'm so used to saying it because everyone else thinks it.
He will.
Minded people.
He woke up smelly.
I play a dwarf even though I'm like 6 feet tall. It makes no sense, I know. I have the most epic beard in the history of beards. I have it at our booth if anyone wants to see it.
It's actually pretty
stroke
cool.
it a little.
I've only been doing LARP for about a year, literally a year. And like Josh was saying, you play your first game and you're attached. Like before I started playing, I was your typical jock hanging out, playing hockey and soccer and being a complete douche hat. Not gonna lie to you, I got a full on. Come on.
It's okay. You're one of us now.
And then I got into the game and it was just things happened and I did some pretty cool stuff and I'm like, all right, this sounds like fun. I'm gonna stick around and now I'm the public relations guy for the actual company.
And now you're in.
And now I'm a dick, not just a dick. So to LARP and then to like get into it, you're gonna lose yourself and you're gonna forget about 90% of everything else in your life. That's straight up what it is.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, I sit at home and I'm going, okay, what can I build now? I have 90 pounds of armor I walk around in. And it, like, when if you guys come to our demo tonight around, I think it's 7:15 in the Griffin room, and you'll see, like, we're gonna go full out. We're gonna have weapons and stuff. People can hit us and we'll hit you if
Battle
you get a
Royale?
feel for it. Yeah, we're gonna do battle royale.
Oh, are we gonna do some sort of tournament?
We're gonna do a tournament and then it's gonna end in a battle royale. eventually. So if anybody wants to come see us, 715 Griffin Road.
I'll teach you how to fight. It's good times.
I'll probably be trying to kill you.
Patch is actually doing her
Probably
right now,
succeed.
guys. So you get to see the transformation from Patches to Melnet in front of your eyes.
Well,
Angry cat.
LARP,
If we have enough time, that is, because she takes 3 hours.
No, the paintbrush method is a hell of a lot faster. And please, one thing I must mention is that we have a race of cat people at Underworld. They are not anime cat girls. Do not come and play Sabar and be an anime cat girl. I will kill you. Out of game.
okay, well, it's just because she plays like, you know, the ultimate matriarch, you know, dead mother. I'm sorry.
I'm in charge of the Sabar.
Of all of like the cat people in the town of Jericho, which is Underworld, and yeah, you just don't want to mess with them. Like I don't want to be insulting, but she's
No,
just like
not
a
insulting.
gnarly, battle-hardened cat person, and everyone's like, she's so hot, and she'll tear your
She's
face.
old and grumpy and she doesn't understand why
Rip.
anyone finds her attractive. It's so big.
Rip your face right now.
But anyway.
Has
Yeah,
anyone
that-
LARPed before? Anybody?
I mean, D&D. Anybody play D&D?
D&D? Nothing.
Like D&D. Okay. Yeah.
My friends and I used to play D&D every Saturday for like 3 years straight.
Okay, this is LARP. A well put together LARP is exactly the same as D&D without the dice. Like you literally don't stop to roll dice. It's what you can do.
You act everything out.
The only thing, if you can't do something in our specific LARP, it's a 3 count. So like, you're a bigger gentleman, right? So I can't actually pick you up off the ground. So I'll go, I pick you up 1, I pick you up 2, I pick you up 3. And then you stand up with me, you might still be unconscious or whatever, but you help me out because I have picked you up, right? Now we're the only LARP in Ontario with the red armband rule. So after your second game, you can get a red armband, which allows you to RP better. So
You have to be trained for it though. There's a quick workshop that you basically have to do before you can be resident certified. It's just for safety.
yeah, but that like adds another layer of realism. So like, if I can see that you have a red armband and I have a red armband and you're unconscious or whatever, I would still ask you, but I wouldn't do a 3 count. I would actually pick you up and then like drag you out of combat or whatever. And some people with red armbands are like, well, dead weight. Well, okay, well, I'm going to drag you out of combat. Well, you actually have to drag them through the dirt out of combat. And it's like, it gets realistic. Like a red armband allows like shoving and pushing. Like, I mean, it happens in game anyways, but you can add that section of realism to, I'm actually going to jack my combat out of the board.
Like within reason.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people have realized, come to LARP and say, I'm a martial artist. I've done a lot of martial arts. That will make me really good at LARP combat. I've done it. I've been through a lot of martial arts. Going to LARP, I had to unlearn everything you know about playing with a real weapon, because it's not about flourishing or getting in that one hit. You might want to get 3 or 4 in because you're counting damage. Like a brand new character with a longsword, like what Darcy's holding. What was that bastard sword? That's a bastard sword. Well, you'd be swinging with 1 hand for 2 normal. So every time you tap somebody, and you literally only have to 45 degrees, you just got to touch them so that they know it. You say your damage, 2 normal, 2 normal, 2 normal.
Probably explain the difference.
Right? Well, that's also art.
Yeah.
You get normal damage. There's if you have a silver weapon, you call silver. If you have an iron weapon, you call iron. If it's magically enhanced, you say magic. Few and far between in our specific LARP, we have like body damage that goes through armor. So arrows, body spears. It's like a 2-handed spear. They go right through armor. So you call body damage. Now those are the scary ones. So that even like your big tank type character who's wearing like 300 points of armor and like clanks when they walk, as much as normal damage, like you can whack away on them for hours and they'll just be like, I still have armor left. 1 arrow and they'll go and run away because it's just 2 body.
So spears do piercing damage?
Well, 1-handed spear won't.
Okay.
But a 2-handed spear, well, a 2-handed body spear, yeah, that goes right through armor.
Awesome.
And,
Spears are my favorite weapon.
It's one of the most broken weapons in game because as long as you have 2 hands. The only rules is you can't hit the same spot twice,
Okay.
and you can't machine gun, which is basically
You can't get faster than you can call it.
right. So you have to 2 body, 2 body, 2 body, 2 body, and hit a different spot. But with A body spear, you only have to move this far. So, two body, two body, two body, two body, two body, two body, two body. You know, you killed like the biggest character in the game. Like, done. You start getting into rogue abilities, like criticals. So as long as you're coming in from behind them, you can see both their shoulder blades. You can call critical. So instead of going 2 body, you're going 6 body critical. 6 body critical, 6 body critical, 6 body critical, and you drop like the biggest thing in game. But rogues have like,
If they're affected by normal damage.
well, you start getting into undead and stuff, and that's like a whole other ball game. Like arrows don't do anything to a skeleton. You fire an arrow at a skeleton, and it literally just goes click, 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 and falls through, and the skeleton keeps coming. Undead and stuff, like you have to use magic damage to do anything to them. But I mean, I've seen some pretty heavy-duty characters just like rip them apart with their bare hands. Because there are like spells and magic and stuff that give you extra strength, extra armor on top of it. Like a bark skin, it looks like you are covered in bark, and it gives you like 30 armor or 40 armor. Is
It's
it 40
40,
armor?
and you take double damage from fire.
Yeah, so anything comes up to you with fire, you're toast. But
You're a walking piece of wood, is
Yeah.
what you technically are, yeah.
But walk into the spider cave. The spiders aren't shooting with fire. Because they're spiders.
Yeah, don't go into the spider cave.
Fire spiders next campaign.
I'm just using an example. Yeah, no, spiders are bad. You know what? I'm glad some people are here to hear that because they come up.
Fire spiders?
I do have to do reports. You know,
We've had bear spiders.
Why
We've
would you
had
even say fire spiders?
like
Oh, you think that's bad? In White Knight Chronicles, they have spiders of every element.
yeah. See, we've got like phase spiders. Phase spiders can phase attacks.
Oh,
Fuck
jeez.
So
everything about that.
as much as they can still stick you to the ground and everything, you fire an arrow at them, you hit them with your giant sword, you are crazy mad, and they just go phase. Oh, so your weapon went through them. And
Oh my god.
yeah. Oh yeah, like dangerous stuff. The cultures in our LARP, like the Savar culture, the Wild Elf culture. Elves are broken into 3 different categories. 3, 4. Stone elves.
Ice elves, too.
Humans are broken up into like 3 different. They kind of look human, but they're different. Like you can. There's so many different facets to LARP that you can pretty much do what you want. Like if you want to be a good guy pretending to be a bad guy, pretending to be a good guy. If you can keep up with that in your head, do it. By all means. Like
I'm doing a good job so far.
shut up. I don't want to talk about your shenanigans right now. Yeah, he did some.
Long
pretty
story,
cool-
guys.
He did some
Long
pretty
story.
cool stuff in game. We'll just leave that.
Yeah, I can't say it because it's still ongoing, so I don't want to spill the beans on anything.
And, yeah, metagaming. This is another
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, that's something to watch out for in LARP is metagaming and power gaming.
Out of game knowledge, bringing in game. So we have characters, and as much as we can talk in character out of game, taking knowledge from out of game and bringing in game, that's like a no-no. So like, I know I've looked at your character sheet, and I know what spells and stuff you have, and I defend against them in game. Well, that's metagame, because that's like I shouldn't be able to see that piece of paper. You have to carry around like your character card with you in your pocket, and that's like your
That's
soul.
your soul. If you lose that, you're dead.
Yeah, like literally, if plot finds that you just lost it, they can do all sorts of nasty stuff to you. Like,
Nastier than you.
yeah, like pull you out of the game and then make you a demon and then send you back into game to kill your friends.
Everything ends in killing your friends.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Kill your friends, kill your family. That seems to be the general theme.
Well, remember how we mentioned earlier the punching in the feelings thing?
Yeah.
Nothing punches you harder in the feelings when like your best friend like hunts you down in the middle of the night and tries to kill you.
Oh,
Like,
boy.
Really badly. Like,
Or middle of the day too.
yeah.
Doesn't matter the time.
Whatever.
It all sucks.
No.
Do you guys
Or when you're
have,
surprised and you get thumped and you get beaten down, yeah, that's like a terrible one.
Do you guys have any like questions?
Yeah, we've been babbling on here.
Yeah, like anything you guys want to know?
Something I've been thinking about getting into LARP is just knowing what to buy with regards to your costume/armor. Like I know there's dedicated shops for roleplay gear, but if you're doing your shopping elsewhere, is there generally any rules of thumb to keep in mind? Whereas to knowing what will be accepted.
Well, as for, there's armor rules, and not just anything will pass as armor at our game.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think so.
Yeah. So you read the rule book, and it'll give you good guidelines as far as if you bring in, say, aluminum chainmail, you're not going to get full points for it.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff that I was expecting to get passed and then have it turn out to be completely useless.
Yeah. Well, the rule book goes into that in pretty good detail, and we have forums where we're really friendly to newbies. Lots of people will answer questions for you, and you just like.
I'm a noob.
You just introduce yourself and ask any questions you might have. Of course, like after reading the rule book, always read the back.
Yep.
One thing I learned too is that if you're gonna be playing, if your character dies, you're gonna come back as another character. You don't want to blow a ton of money on new armor. So focus more on the armor covering your body points underneath costume. This way you can reuse everything. Like so if you buy a chainmail shirt, you can use it for every character you have because you can wear a cloak for one and then wear like a fur jacket for another. This way you're not wasting money and conserves, and you can use it forever.
Yeah.
That's one definite thing you can do.
Yeah, there's also a point for really new players when you first come in, just have like a basic costume. Just
Period clothes.
Yeah, and if you don't have stuff, you don't have to worry about that either because you can just like ask on the forum, say like, hey guys, I just want to try out the game. I don't really have any costuming. Can I borrow stuff? You totally can. People probably have like their new costume that they don't really use anymore.
There's a lot of clothing swaps that go on.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
They'll all of a sudden be like, we're doing a Saturday night at this person's house and we're bringing everything we have to get rid of. And then it turns into fun as well. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can also you can rent buffers. You can rent your weapons
$5.
for $5 if you don't have any. So if you just want to try it out, that works too.
See, if you ask me when it comes to the weapons and like making stuff, it's half the fun.
Yeah, I know, but like, if it's just like a very new player and they just want to try it out and they're not sure if they'll like it, they don't want to do like a huge time investment.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can just borrow stuff.
Or if you try too hard on the, I'm trying new, so I'm always worried about my buffer weapons not qualifying. So go there and you find out, oh, it doesn't count.
See, it's not that it wouldn't count. The only thing in Underworld, anyways, we look for is safety fact.
Yeah.
If as long as it'll pass a safety check, I'm a weapons and armor marshal. Before game, I'm the guy that stands there and evaluates the armor and weapons and see if everything's safe. It's all in the rules. Like if you look at the rule book, it'll tell you exactly how long, how much impact foam, how much this, what it's gonna look like,
There's also one of our players made a video tutorial on how to make a basic buffer. So that's really helpful as well.
It's really not.
Yeah, but I'm kind of the artsy guy, so I don't want to make a basic buffer.
And I mean, with nowadays and latex weapons, you can, as much as you unless you don't want to commit in buying a foam weapon, making one is like a basic one is really simple. Even just for checking it out, it costs you less than like $10.
But I read that you guys don't qualify on like thrust tips. You can't thrust with those ones.
With the latex ones,
Not with the latex, no.
it's too hard on the tip.
Okay.
And I mean, you'd be even if we did allow it, as much as a lot of people would be upset with that fact, because a lot of people just go for range, like using a bastard sword like that, and they just poke at you.
You're not getting anywhere near me if I'm just doing this all day.
Personally, if I'm NPCing, I hate latex weapons because when you're being whooped on by a whole bunch of PCs at once,
They hurt.
latex weapons hurt.
I've had like bruises that like are perfectly shaped like them.
The cushion from the last time.
No,
NPC.
that was an elbow. Okay, that was an
That was
elbow.
an NPC.
I'm a good
Kill your friends and concussions. Sign me up.
Oh no! In my own defense, I was part of LARP is selling it. Like you have to act it, right? Like especially being a bad guy. When you die and you run out of like body points, you die. You don't just go and follow and then like stand there and be like, I'm dead. Put your hand on your head. That's like the general sign. Put your hand on your head. I'm no longer here. I'm out of game. That's what like the general idea is. You don't do that. If you've got a mask on and you're a bug or you're a troll or you're something that's being killed and the entirety of town whoops on you, you play it out. Like this guy's hitting you for 2. Well, it doesn't really hurt because I have a lot of body. But this guy comes out of nowhere with 6 body. Well, that hurts, right? So you sell it. They had me in a really weird situation where I was like bound and cocooned, and another guy came up and just killed me, but I'm still on my feet. So the moment he killed me, I can't stand up anymore, so I fall over. unfortunately, I like fell over as my other friend was like bringing his elbow up, and I like,
Ooh.
caught his elbow like here.
Oh.
And like saw stars and ended up with a concussion. But I mean, that's the price you pay. Like,
Don't let that scare you off. Though.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
we rarely have any actual like real injuries happen. Like you might get a scrape. You know.
running through the woods and you get a stick in the eye. But most people like.
Say anything to do like
Oh, well,
the guy running
how
around
many,
the
but how many people, honestly, how many people think that you know that they come right into LARP and they go, okay, cool, I'm gonna run around in the woods at night. Like, and as much as you know, you think, oh, okay, I've memorized where I've got to go or whatever, right? You're still looking toward where you're gonna go, and there are sticks that are still gonna come at you, and then they go, oh, I've hurt myself.
Yeah.
I did my entire trip as Jaden and never got a stick in the eye. Why? Because you look down.
There you go.
Put your hood up so that sticks hit the hood for like little things. People wear like Trafalgar has this like helmet face mask. Perfect. Then you can go running through the woods at night because nothing is going to get through. Yeah.
and then takes it off.
But it's all up to you. It's all up to you, right? As much as we get little injuries, you're not going to get like it's all set up so that you're not going to get hurt. And if you do get hurt, you just like yell hold. Game stops. People, you can decide whether you want to leave game. You know, have I hurt myself that bad? Have I twisted my ankle to the point where I broke it? Did I sprain my ankle? They can remove you from game. Like we have medical marshals on site.
Any good LARP will have a medical team.
Yeah.
Just other like NPCs, even players that carry around a first aid pack on them, just in case. If they don't have that, then you might want to consider looking at a different LARP because then they're not caring about you. They're worried about their game and not the safety of their players. That's one thing you really got to watch out for. Any LARP you look at, ours, you know, random Joe Blow in his backyard, anything. If they can't take care of you, then what's the point of paying for it?
Underworld might push the limit a little, like when it comes to our boundaries, but it's all at your own choice. If you're not comfortable doing that, there is rules and policies in place that you don't have to do it. Like even if the RP gets like racy, and Underworld is, as Pat just said, is a horror LARP. Like,
And it's an 18+ game.
you're gonna get into some pretty risque situations. Like
Maybe.
it's a possibility.
Yes,
but I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
slavery, rape, it's all happened. Death, dismemberment, disemboweling. Like I mean, at one point or another, we had to find an object that was inside this guy, like a saw trap. We had to cut him open and root through his like guts to find this like thing, and
One time
they
one of
wrecked
my
it.
friends had
It
to
was
go through my
guts.
guts.
It was like he
Oh
literally
yeah,
had done
guys,
guts.
we have this thing called splatter mods. They're amazing.
Oh.
Splatter mods, you're warned when
Do
you're
I have
going
any
on a
blood on my
splatter
armor?
mod. You're warned ahead of time just in case you don't want to get dirty. But a splatter mod will be like a big fight where you're actually getting splattered with blood and guts. Fake blood and guts, of course.
They make buckets and buckets of
Yeah.
fake blood, and they'll sit there with rice packets and launch them at you. So you're getting hit and covered in it. And it's really awesome. It makes you so alert. It's great.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
One of
Next
my
profile pic.
Yeah. Well, one of my best stories was the guy going through his guts, and he was still alive.
Oh.
So we were like still rooting through his guts, and I like leaned in to be like, I think he's still alive. And he turned with one of his guts that's covered in blood and slapped me right in the face. And there's nothing, like I mean, yes, I have my red armband, so you're not gonna be like, oh wow, oh you hit me really hard. It's slap. You really just did that. And then everybody kills him, but it's like, he just slapped me in the face.
There's a picture of him with this amazing like intestine patterned blood splatter all over him.
And all I could say afterwards was like walk, you do your epic walk back, because you usually go on a mod zone and then you have some time to walk before you get back to town. Totally going, is there something on my face? I think there's a little something on my face. It's like right here. And they're like, no, you're fine. I have this huge blood smear up the side of my face. Anyways, I'm sorry, you were asking a question.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research to find the best stuff, mostly in armor. Any suggestion when you what you find the best to wear, when it, or I think I was looking at making chainmail, and weight-wise, or what do you feel is works the best?
Chainmail is
Heavy.
It's heavy and it's loud, but it provides a lot of coverage. Personally, I wear a leather coat of plates, so it's got like small rectangular plates all through it. That provides a lot of protection, and as well, because the plates are inside leather, most people underestimate the amount of armor I'm wearing. So They're like, why won't you die? I'm like, haha.
Because I have like 100 and some odd on
Yeah,
army.
exactly.
Although it looks like, but to answer your question, my personal theory on it is also comfort. Like as much as it's all about
And
comfort
what would suit your
and what you
character.
want to do. Yeah. If you want to be a tank, if you just want to combat, then yeah, like chainmail on plate and then your plate over top of it. And if now we're talking about huge investment in armor, yes, but you're walking into game with like 300-400. Well, not you won't walk into game, but you're carrying 300 or 400 points of armor. That's like throw them to the spiders, man. They're not gonna get to them. and it's funny because they will. Like the really strong heavy characters that have like strength bonuses will just like pick you up and then push you forward like a human shield because you've got 300 points of armor. You might not be able to do anything, and they'll just
Get behind the tank!
and then they'll just carry you through like this. It's
Yeah, because they get the plus
This
strength.
has
So
happened.
they're literally like, you get webbed, those like rip. It's the only way you can do it. And even then it's risky.
But when it comes to actually making it, like this is not a lot of points. That is just leather. If you're crafty, Tandy Leather in Toronto, you buy yourself like a half a cow, and you can make whatever you like.
That is a unit of measure, by the way.
A half a cow.
It's right up there with meters.
I think it actually is.
I think it is there, yeah.
You walk into Tandy and you're like, I want a half cow, and they'll give you like a
They'll
half
know
size
exactly
cow.
what you're talking about. We have a lot of players who make their own armor. I do personally. And if you wanted to learn, there's like use the forums. You can talk
We
to
have
other
craft days.
people. Yeah, we have craft days, and people are. I mean, making armor is really not that hard. It might look like it is, but honestly, once you learn the basics, it ain't okay.
And then you look at the in the rules, we have like an armor guy, which is
Armor
literally
guy.
like a mannequin with points.
Exactly what it says.
And it comes down to what you cover the point with depends on how many points of armor you get. So like leather is only 1 point per position. So if
Location.
is it location per position? Per location? Like down your back is 3 positions.
Location.
Locations. Whatever.
Keywords.
Points of
We know what he means. Get on with it.
By the way, LARPers never agree on anything. They've always
No,
argued.
I'm right. We're right. Yeah. Anyways, but like leather is 1 point, studded leather is 2 points, chainmail's 3, plate is 4. Anything in between, you get like half. So like scale. Scale gets
Also material too.
yeah.
Aluminum's at less points than
half
it is
points.
regular
It's
steel.
got to be steel, right? Sorry, man, your poor hand's been up for.
Yeah, so like if I have a red armband
Yep.
and someone comes at me with a spear, am I gonna grab their spear?
Combat rules for holding weapons is as long as you've hold it, he can call body damage directly to you.
It's like he's gonna hit.
So yeah, you can be like, I'm all John Woo and hold this.
No,
And then
if I
pull
just-
and then pull you toward me and throw you aside.
Like just pull this.
As yeah, two body.
Okay.
You're not allowed to hold weapons, and that's the only thing that will stop
That's
me
for game balance, basically.
from
Yeah, I can understand that. Like people just sitting there holding. a weapon,
Exactly,
but,
yeah. And like hooked weapons are not allowed.
Yeah.
So something with like a sword catcher in it, it's like, oh well, I can use that to catch a sword.
Well,
Well,
what about a hilt guard? That would count.
no, like something like that is fine.
This is fine, yeah.
But if you have
But you
created
can't use
extra
it to hook
spikes
weapons.
that like
Extra
are
spikes
designed to like
Yeah,
catch a
if you
weapon,
hook up like this so you can catch someone and sit there and just wail on it like this.
anything with
That's-
ropes and cords, you're not allowed in combat.
Like, can you disarm?
If you can knock it out of their hand, yes.
It's what you can do.
All right.
So if you-
Well,
if
there-
you're
there is
carrying two
also like
swords,
a
you
disarm
mash it
skill.
out of his hand.
There are abilities in game that allow you that's like 10 seconds of that arm doesn't work. So you just walk up and hit their arm and you disarm. And now if they've got a shield in that arm or a sword in that arm, they have to drop it. Count to 10 before they can pick it up again.
We're just getting
It's literally them going twang, ow, oh, and pick it up again, right? Like there are really cool abilities like headbutt. You don't actually headbutt them, but it's pretty close. Like you have to walk up, put both your hands on them, and say physical headbutt.
Yeah, and then that's similar to the garrote skill, where instead of actually choking another player out,
You just
I would go
put your
behind
hand-
Josh
yeah.
and put my hands on either of his shoulders
And just call.
start going garrote 1, garrote 2, and then he just acts like he's being strength, right?
And you got 20 seconds of you can't talk, you can't cry out, you have to drop your weapons and literally go.
That's
Basically, all you can do is like try and knock stuff over to attract people to your plate.
Yeah, you used to be able
It's
to clap, but
terrifying.
now you can't.
It's terrifying. I've actually been garroted in game before, and it's really scary because you can't cry to your friends. It was actually right behind a group of my friends, so all my friends are right there, but it's dark. and they're all fighting other stuff, and I'm being choked out right behind the curtain. I'm like,
Oh, I'm telling you, the middle of the night, walking through the woods, all you want to do, it's been like 24 hours that you've been up. Because you've been killing things and running from things and you're killing some more things and then running from some more things and then you're going to go on this quest for this treasure and then you're going to come back and then there are more things waiting to kill. And all you want to do is go to sleep.
it should
You
be
just
noted, yeah,
want to sleep.
Underworld does not have like a timeout time. There's no meal time, there's no like guaranteed time that you're going to be able to sleep without something coming to attack you while you're asleep.
Things will come and try and kill you in your tent.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
something
boy.
that a lot of our players like about our game, because
You're there.
I've been to some LARPs where there is like, it's mealtime now. Nothing's gonna attack you while you're eating.
They do respect you a little bit because we have a tavern, so
Well,
like
yeah.
if you're buying food, they're not going to come while you're eating your hot dog and just destroy you and lose your hot dog. Like, oh.
I have, you know what? One of our old tavern keepers, one of our players, he's really busy right now, but one of our players is actually a 5-star chef. And
Nice.
he's a wonderful man. And he used to run the tavern.
That's
My
complicated.
character went and
Say.
bought a real sandwich from him. It was like this chicken stew he had made and put on bread, and it was amazing because it was like 5-star chef amazing. I waited like half an hour to get this sandwich, and as soon as it was in my hands, we got attacked by a crowd of orcs.
Ugh.
And I'm sitting there. There's nowhere to put my sandwich down, so I'm sitting there with one hand trying to protect my sandwich. and then someone came up behind me and struck me and hit my sandwich out of my hand. It was like slow motion where I was like.
What's that sandwich? Kill them all? Good idea!
There are times when you can you're allowed to bleed in-game to out-of-game, back to in-game. So like, you have your coffee. Now, that's important. Like, you wake up in the morning, you've been fighting things all night.
You don't take my
Not a cup of coffee, right? Next thing you know, things are attacking, so you've told me, you're like trying to, there's no way. I'm just
Coffee is like an immunity idol.
like, you'll die, and you'll just be like, don't spill my coffee, I'm dead, it's cool.
I'm dead, back off!
That happens outside of battling too. Remember when I was running across a bridge with a coffee and it was a little wet and I just went. So
Oh.
landed right in this, right my fen had landed right in this river and I landed with my hand on the bridge. Coffee straight up. I'm just like, it's my coffee spilled. Everyone's like, you're good. I'm like, I'm so covered in water. And then
Still
I'm like,
good.
All right, we're good. I start walking in.
My leg is broken, but my coffee is okay.
It's fine, it's okay, I'll make it.
And that's like, some people do break immersion, like everyone starts dying laughing. You can't help it, right?
Sometimes it happens.
I've known people to go from completely stone faced to put their hand on their head just so that they can burst out laughing because their character would
Like
laugh.
you try
right?
not to, but there are sometimes there's something we call Wizard O'Clock or Stupid AM,
Stupid.
where everyone's been up for so long that you're just everything is ridiculously silly and just everything is really funny.
And you come up with the greatest ideas.
like no,
Just the most dangerous god in the
like
game.
yeah, kiss the panther gas, kiss the demon monster that will stab you through with one shot. I didn't do that. I mean, no.
Yeah. We should probably fill that in. So yeah, Josh.
Go ahead, tell the story.
So I should just mention one of the craziest monsters in the game, known as the Panther Ghast. Elves, they have this huge storyline of where they came from and like their myth and everything. The Panther Ghast is like the mother of all elves, bastard child, and once a year on All Hallows, he's allowed to come out and take his fill of elves. So literally, he just touches elves and they die. Like,
Oh, shit.
no defense, no special spell protections. Toast.
And
And they-
no one else can harm this guy.
No,
No one
only
else.
female elves. It's like it's a mother complex. It's only female elves
He
who
has
do
body
damage
issues.
A
to.
little bit, yeah.
But he's running around like sensing elf, which is sorry, I'm backtracking again. Sense calls. It's one of the scariest things in game you'll hear is sense life, because
In a normal speaking voice, you have to answer
here, but your character doesn't know it. That's how the undead can smell you.
Yeah.
They're coming shuffling through the woods, and you hear sense life.
It's like ring rates, they can sense the presence of a heartbeat sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
so you're sitting around a
that's what it
campfire,
represents.
and you're telling stories, and you're laughing, and it's stupid o'clock, and things are getting crazy, and you're coming up with really dumb ideas about jumping over the fire because you're hammered. Fake hammered, I might add, because you drink fake booze and got an RP being drunk. It's so much fun. But dumb o'clock, it helps. And you hear sense life. Everybody has to react like it didn't happen. So like, it's this huge tear of, you want to look back like, oh shit, something's behind me. But at the same time, as you can't.
Out
So
of
you
game,
go-
you're peeing yourself. In game, you're laughing.
So you're laughing and you're drunk, and then you hear sense life, and you're like, here? And you still got to pretend to be drunk, but now you know that there's something in the woods behind you. It's so terrifying. And then, like, all around you, so you're sitting there, All Hallows. All Hallows Eve is back in the day when haunted houses scared you. Like, really scared. Not, oh, there's a guy in a suit. Ooh, it scared me. Like, genuine, I don't want to go in there. That's what Underworld is at All Hallows. They've literally brought back that kind of fear.
You won't sleep.
You don't want. I slept in a fallen tree because I was afraid the panther gas was going to come kill me. Like, I didn't want to go to my tent.
Can you explain the panther gas now? Or?
No, I did, didn't I?
No, you backtracked. And then
He's just a super crazy. I don't want to go into the backstory of it, but he's just like the super elf
You're
killer.
gonna tell the Kiss the Panther guy story.
Oh, that's your story.
Yeah,
I
maybe
thought
not.
I thought you said you didn't kiss it.
Anyways, the panther gas is this crazy thing that kills elves and stuff like that. And my character and another character was stupid o'clock, and we invented the game called Kiss the Panther Gas. So you take the
Which is a
most
terrible idea.
Yeah, and it's the most scariest evil thing in the game, and we're like, you should kiss it. That'd be great. And then this bright genius here, in the middle of like fighting things around the panther gas, all of a sudden comes running up to us. She's like, I did it! We're like, did what? She's like, I kissed it. We're like, you didn't really do that. Like, that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's instant death.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was like an actual thing. We were having a contest, and then they were like, it was a joke.
Just a joke.
Too late.
And now the thing hates her. On sight, it just
Oh
goes
yeah,
for her.
now it's
It hates her and
Yeah.
elves. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expanding its palette.
As the class, I play a rogue class. Warrior classes have a lot of luck points. Rogue classes have like kind of medium points, and casters have not very many. So even though I wear a lot of armor in game, if I get stabbed with a spear that does like 10 points of body damage, I'm screwed. And the Panther guys have like 10-point body spear. So
Oh.
yeah, it stabbed me a few times. It's a good thing I have friends.
I've seen
More
him.
questions, guys?
I've seen him hit things for like 20.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody in game, and I mean, save for the super high level people that would maybe take one and then run, can take a 20 minute run. That's ow! I don't want to be anywhere near the pointy end of that game. Ever.
Questions, guys?
Questions?
Like,
We have 5 minutes, so throw them out now or see us at our booth or tomorrow at Gold.
Yeah, I mean, we have a booth. You can come and ask.
Yeah, we're all here all weekend, so.
Just sort of battle on for an hour. That'd be good. So you did. I know I did. I never said I was eloquent.
Anything the just be answered right now. It's silly hand up, yes?
Okay, what are some things that like some people bring that they kind of frowned upon? You know, like some art, designs or something that just I don't know.
Rip-offs.
Asian.
If you Asian, yeah, Asian.
Asian, everybody wants to come in and be an anime character.
Right.
This is fantasy based.
Right.
It's medieval fantasy based. It's
Don't
not.
name your character Drist or Legolas, please.
Oh God.
Basically anything that's gonna
Yeah.
make it look like you're just ripping off from a movie, video game. Be
Yeah,
creative.
like,
This
yeah.
is your creative, LARP is your creative juice.
Coming
Like,
in and
it's
going,
okay.
Ogarimatsu! That won't get you
Yeah.
any far.
Like, it's okay to base your character off of a character you like.
Unless you're a hobbit.
You can have like inspirations,
Yeah.
but make it your own. And it's actually forbidden to bring in like a name of something that exists already. Like if it's an actual well-known character sort of name, like I said, was saying Legolas or something, because it'll take other players out of game.
Yeah.
So you gotta have your own name.
When you were 5,
What's your name, Malman? What's your name? Frodo Baggins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, instantly people are gonna
That's
go,
exactly what happened.
really?
Someone got
See now, if you came in and be like, yeah, I'm this, it's really close. Instantly, anybody else who really wants to get immersed will ignore you because it's like, wow, you got away with that name.
That happened with
So
the guy
you're
who
not
came
being
in.
serious,
No.
and then others don't want to RP with you,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, it's not even an offense thing. It's people leave their lives to do something else, like to live a different life when they come to LARP. They don't want to be like, I'm, my name's Phil McCracken, right? Or something like that, right?
That was my original name.
Yeah. Well, luckily enough, our plot team will be like, no, you can't do that.
Sorry. guys.
That's not your name. Try again, right? Or like you do get a final approval, but I mean it's up to you. It's whatever your imagination can come up with. There are limitations, but those limitations are very, very like here are your limits. Go, and then game sorts it out for you. Like LARP, it's a choose your own adventure book. Remember those? Right. It's just like that, but with foam swords.
Right, I think this is our cue.
I think we're done, guys. Thanks
Um,
for coming and listening to me.
We're here
Now.
at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and we're at our booth all day. Any questions, come on by. 7 p.m. tonight, approximately, in the grip room, we're doing demos. I got a ton of weapons in my car, they're looking to be used. So come on
Nice.
out,